Talk 83. The master, relating some stories of the Bhaktas, told how Sri Krishna served Eknath for 12 years, how Panduranga relieved Sakubai from her home prison and enabled her to visit Pandharpur. Then he recollected the appearance of a mysterious Maulvi on his way from Madura to Tiruvannamalai in 1896. How he appeared, spoke, and disappeared suddenly. Talk 84. Mr. Grant Duff asked the master if any mongoose had had anything to do with him. The master said yes. It was the occasion of Ardra and Jayanti. I was living up the hill in Iskandas Ramam. Streams of visitors were climbing up the hill from the town. A mongoose, larger than the ordinary size of golden hue, not grey as a mongoose is, with no black spot on its tail as is usual with the wild mongoose, passed these crowds fearlessly. People took it to be a tame one belonging to someone in the crowd. The animal went straight to Palaniswami, who was having a bath in the spring by the Virupaksha cave. He stroked the creature and petted it. It followed him into the cave, inspected every nook and corner, and left the place and joined the crowd to pass up to Skandasaramam. I noticed it. Everyone was struck by its attractive appearance and its fearless movements. It came up to me, got on my lap, and rested there some time. Then it raised itself up, looked about, and moved down. It went round the whole place, and I followed it, lest it should be harmed by the unwary visitors or by the peacocks. Two peacocks of the place looked at it inquisitively, whereas the mongoose moved nonchalantly from place to place and finally disappeared into the rocks on the southeast of the ashraman. Talk 85. The same gentleman asked the master about the material relation between memory and will and their relation to the mind. Maharaji, they are functions of the mind. The mind is the outcome of the ego, and the ego is from the self. 6th November 1935. Talk 86. The master gave the true significance of the Christian faith thus: Christ is the ego, the cross is the body. When the ego is crucified and it perishes, what survives is the absolute being, God. I and my Father are one, and the glorious survival is called resurrection. Talk 87. Major A. W. Chadwick, an ardent English devotee, asked, why did Jesus call out, my God, while being crucified? Maharishi, it might have been an intercession on behalf of the two thieves who were crucified with him. Again, a jnani has attained liberation even while alive, here and now. It is immaterial as to how, where, and when he leaves his body. Some jnanis may appear to suffer, others may be in samadhi. Still others may disappear from sight before death, but that makes no difference to their jnana. Such suffering is apparent only to the onlooker and not to the jnani, for he has already transcended the mistaken identity of the self with the body. Talk 88. The same gentleman asked, why is the significance of Christ in the illumination of Saint Paul? Maharishi, illumination is absolute, not associated with forms. After Saint Paul became self-conscious, he identified the illumination with Christ consciousness. Devotee, but Paul was not a lover of Christ then. Maharishi, love or hatred is immaterial. The thought of Christ was there. It is similar to Ravan's case. Christ consciousness and self-realization are all the same. Talk 89. Maharishi, Karpur Arati is symbolic of the burning away of the mind by the light of illumination. Vibhuti, sacred ashes, is Shiva, absolute being, and Kunkuma, vermilion powder, is Sakti consciousness. Vibhuti is of two kinds, Para Vibhuti and Apara Vibhuti. The sacred ashes are of the later class. The para is what remains over after all the dross has been burnt away by the fire of realization. It is absolute being.